Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to the John Gaunt Show. Extra show today because of this amazing poll that's come out. 54% of us Brits want Starmer out. My first question is, what's wrong with the other 40%? What's their problem? They can't all be Starmer's family or business associates, can they? They can't all be in Labour. This man is a miserable failure. Are you with me or against me? Malcolm Staples, he can kick us off today. He says, how can this clown carry on making a total failure on every single thing he does? Well, I don't think he can. He's got to go. 54%, and there's plenty more to talk about from where that comes from. If you want to make a comment, just write it at the bottom of the screen in the comment section, and we'll come to you as soon as we can. Roseth, he's already in today. Get him out, says Roseth22 on YouTube. Some people sent messages even before I started today. I'm with you for about half an hour. Let's hit that like button if you like what I'm doing. Jake Morton Brown says, afternoon, Sir Gaunty. I like your respect. Thank you very much. Oh, and by the way, I've got some brilliant news to give you later in my show. Jake says, coming to you live whilst cooking a Sunday brisket. You can't go wrong with a bit of beef brisket. I'm going out for a drink later. Got something to celebrate. I'll explain to you later in the show. But let's get to the show, shall we? Let's talk about Starmer. This is a proper poll, not a poll on a TV channel with maybe an opinion or a radio station. This is legit. 54% of Brits want Starmer out now, and he's still ignoring that message. What do you think? Is Starmer finished, or do the other 6% think he's doing a good job, or should they all be in an institution? How can 46% of people think Starmer's doing well? For God's sake, let's just go through where we are. 14 months in, and the wheels are falling off the Labour wagon. It's a poll shock, I guess. Majority want him out, and they want him out now. He's also got the lowest approval ratings of anyone ever as a Prime Minister in this country. And then, but what does Starmer do? Does Starmer back off a bit? Does he try and do a few things that might be populist? No. Today in The Sun, he's slagging off Tommy Robinson and Nigel Farage, calling them both far right, and saying that they're and Elon Musk, just for good measure. He's also telling us again about how and when we should fly or use our flag. Why don't you just F off, Starmer? Your party hates our flag. We all know that. Don't give me all this nonsense about Yvette Cooper's got doilies and got bloody bunting in the shed. It's all a lie. You think of yourself as a European, as a progressive. You're not a true Brit, Starmer. So don't talk to us about our flag. But he's doing it again. He's saying, don't let the flag divide us. I saw none of that on that protest last week with Tommy. There were 28 arrests, I'll give you that, but you could get that at a football game, couldn't you? Let's keep things in perspective. The flag sharing and the raising of the flag everywhere in Britain is because people are pissed off. Hey, and you want some advice for free, Keir Starmer? It's you that's the problem. You can't see it, but you're the problem. So today, like I say, you'd think he'd do something populist. No. Today, he's telling you three things. One, how to and when to use your flag. He's also giving Palestine state recognition, despite the fact that poll after poll, and the latest one is in the Telegraph, say that 9 out of 10 of us are against this idea. He doesn't give an SH1T. He's ploughing on regardless. I say no recognition to Palestine until they release every single hostage. I know that's Hamas. And they agree to have proper elections. Remember, the last election they had was 14 years ago. 14 years ago. And, of course, Hamas won. It's not all Israel at fault. But what happened today, well, I'll talk about Lammy today on the telly this morning. He's blaming one of our closest allies, Israel. And that's because of this ridiculous thing that Starmer said, you've got to the end of August. And if you don't do as I say, I'm going to stamp my feet and I'm going to scream and scream and scream. No, he didn't say that. But what he did say was that we would go ahead and recognize Palestine. What the stinking, feeble spine of an amoeba, of a blancmange, didn't do it last week, did he? When the president of the free world was here again. He waited till Trump got on the plane and then he said it. He's done it again this week. We cannot recognize a state that isn't even a bloody state, you clown. But you're doing it against the express wishes of the president of the United States. Now, I know a couple of European countries in your coalition of the bloody useless or the willing, whatever you call it, they're on your side. But I'm telling you, mate, when push comes to shove, you need America in your camp, not I was going to say the Germans. I don't think they've signed up to it, but not the French. You definitely don't want it. And have you seen the riots and the problems we've been having with migrants? Kicked off last night in Liberal, Holland. In the Netherlands, they had riots. And then the third thing that he's decided is a good idea to push just at this moment when he's so unpopular. The next thing, wait till you hear this. You'll love this one. You will love it. He's decided he has decided that what he thinks is really important at the moment, along with the flags recognizing Palestine, is ID cards. Oh, yes. Him and his best chum, Tony Blair, are now trying to make us all have identity cards, digital identity cards. Tony Blair says, well, the things have moved on, it'll be okay. Well, I used to support the idea of the ID cards, but after COVID, no way. They just want control. And what I hate about Starmer is he's such a bullshitter. His line is, we need ID cards so we know who's in the country. We wouldn't need them, Starmer, if you controlled the bloody borders, rip up the ECHR, get out of the Human Rights Act, troops on the beach. I'm so bored of saying this now. Troops on the beach at Dover, Navy in the Channel, detain, then deport. Oh, and get them out of the hotels, get them into tents, and get rid of the squeezy soap. But you can't see it, can you? So the excuse why we need identity cards is so that he's using the migrants as the what do you call it? The you know what I mean? The proverbial, I'm trying to think of the word. You know the word. Anyway, as the baddie, right? As the baddie, the bogeyman. That's the word I was looking for, the term I was looking for. I think it's disgusting. We don't need ID cards. You don't need more control over us so that every time we go basically for a piss, we'll have to ask permission from your lousy government. No way, Jose. But he's going to push it through. Let me tell you. But again, poll after poll proves we, the great British public, don't want it. So they're the three things today that Starmer thinks might aid his popularity. Telling us when to use the flag and saying, don't let the flag divide you. Well, we don't think it does divide us. We think it unites us. That's why we've been putting the flag of St. George up. That's why we got the Union flag up, you arse. He thinks Palestinian recognition. Oh, think about the poor babies. Think about the, what do they call it? A genocide. It ain't a genocide. I agree. Israel have gone too hard and obviously people have been killed. No one wants that. Hey, here's a simple solution. Put your diplomatic effort, because you do like striding on the big stage, don't you, Sir Keir? Why don't you put it into telling Hamas, give over the hostages? Give over the hostages. Now, we know most of them will be dead, the ones that are left, but at least the families need to know. So that's his next idea. He thinks you're going to rally behind him, just like you do when he says to Zelensky, The British public is right behind you. I don't think so. I don't think anybody wants to be behind you, Starmer. They certainly don't want to be in front of you. Now then. And the final thing, ID cards. I used to be in favour of them, but after the control exerted during COVID, there were bits of COVID that I did agree with, right? We're not going to get into that debate. Don't try and distract me. But what I'm saying is the control is wrong. I'm not a tin hat conspiracy merchant, but I ain't going to give them that control over my life. What about you? We don't need ID cards because they shouldn't be in the bloody country in the first place, you prat. Get it sorted. Going back to David Lammy, he was on that Laura program this morning on the BBC, and he basically said it's Israel's fault because they haven't agreed to recognize Palestine. Who the fuck are you? Sorry, excuse my language. Who the hell are you, though, Lammy, to sort of start demanding? And Starmer, the President of the United States of America isn't signing up to this. Bunch of dumbos, the lot of you. So he thinks the problem is the flags. But the problem clearly is Keir Starmer. If you agree with me, press the like button. I want to smash the likes today. Also, as well, write a comment. And remember, coming up very soon, some brilliant news. Some brilliant news, which I'll tell you about in a few seconds. If you're already one of the people who've donated to me via Buy Me a Coffee, you will have this information because I sent out an email about half an hour ago. Anyway, more on that in a moment. Let's talk about the other problems that this bloke has brought us into. We've got immigration chaos. We've been invaded by the flip-floppers, right? We made sure that Adolf Hitler, apart from that submarine in Dad's army, nobody broke down our borders, right? Nobody. Now we've got a bunch of people in flip-flops. Not only are they getting out of dinghies, they're normally getting out of lifeboats because we've got them halfway across the channel. It's an absolute farce. That's before we go into the sexual offences that some of them have created. The fact that they're working in the black economy, that they get on their bikes, which are obviously funded as well. No one's looking into that. It's clear that somebody's getting those bikes and saying, you pay me X amount a week out of your wages. I just hope it's not the actual delivery companies themselves. I'm sure it isn't. We've got the dinghy crossings, yeah? How come we're letting them all in? We got the migrant hotels where when mums, daughters and sisters and brothers and fathers and husbands dared to complain about the migrant hotels, he tried at first to call them racist. He tried at first to call them far right. Then he realized he wasn't going to get away with that in terms of the media. He also, of course, it's exactly what he did after Southport as well. The problem is him. That's why I picked that picture today. You seen the picture I got behind me? You look in that picture. The problem is you clown. Then there's all the broken promises from the manifesto, which promised change, right? He promised he was going to deliver change. He couldn't deliver an effing pizza on a Deliveroo bike with a big thing around his face. All the freebies, do you remember at the beginning? The Taylor Swift tickets, the Arsenal box, all the rest of it. The corruption. How many of his MPs are up on almost on charges, so to speak? Angela Rayner, mortgage fiddler. Other ones are tax fiddlers. We've got a chancellor who lied on her CV. We got the woman who was in charge of standards up on a charge in Pakistan, is it? And then, of course, top it all, we've got Lord Mandelson. Lord Mandelson, let me just tell you another thing. He's in the House of Lords. Where's the pressure for him to be booted out of there? Why is he being allowed to still dress like that? As I told you, I think in Friday's podcast, I understand there's a big bucket of you-know-what coming for Starmer from Mandelson. Let's hope so. But let's not let Mandelson off. He is the chum of one of the most prolific pedophiles the world's ever known. Yum, 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 yum. What the hell did that mean? And finally, I say no deal on Palestine until Hamas releases every single hostage, or the bodies of them, I'm afraid to say. We want no more gimmicks, no more lies. So the final point I'm asking you today, has Starmer got a political death wish, or will we, the British people, force him out? So Starmer, should he resign now? Just say yes or no, or make a comment. Starmer out. Keir Starmer. UK politics has never been in such a terrible position. The Labour Party, a joke, an absolute joke. We are facing a political crisis, although you wouldn't know that with the BBC. Laura Kunzberg programme didn't bother talking about the flags, didn't talk about Labour, really. She let what's his name off? Lammy off. Right, oh, that's the next thing. The biscuit muncher. Remember, he spent $7,000 on Jaffa cakes just for one meeting. I'm sure there's a bigger story, but that'll do. Lammy, they're now saying, could be the next ambassador in Washington. Can you believe it? It's like the BBC. You're getting promoted to your level of mediocrity. But the big headline this morning, 54% of us want Starmer to quit, or we want him out. What do you think? What do you think? Let me know, please, straight away. Craig Urquhart says sound ? It's your computer, because nobody else is moaning. Everybody else can hear the sound. Yes, I presume you can. If you can't, let me know. Just to say to Jake Morton Brown, he's just become a YouTube member. Thank you, Jake. It's $1.99 or $2.99 or something. It's peanuts. But don't forget, you can subscribe for free. You don't have to become a member. If you want to donate today, please feel free. Just go to www.buymeacoffee.com/John Gaunt, or alternatively, press the little $sign there and give me some cash. Remember, this is an extra show today, and I've got some big news coming up for you in about 10 minutes' time. Stay tuned for that, whatever you do. Right, let's move on. If he stays in for the full term, there'll be no country left, says Nigel Winter on YouTube. Nigel, he ain't going to stay for the full term. I doubt whether he'll get to Christmas the way he's going, especially if Mandelson does what he's hinting he's going to do next week. But the bottom line is now, look at him there. What does he look like? He should have the kind of honour to fall on his sword if he's not using it somewhere else. I actually do think he should resign, because otherwise he is completely finished. He's never going to work again. John, I'm tearing my hair out with Starmer, and I can't believe 46% think he's doing okay. It's madness. Craig, I agree with you totally. Where did they get the 46% from? Who can think he's doing well? Huh? Maybe the 3 Ukrainian guys. I don't know. Lord Ali. Shoot you, sir. I wonder whether Lord Ali's going to measure him up for his prison outfit. No, I'm only joking. That's a joke. I obviously don't want him to go to jail. That'd be daft. I bet Starmer is celebrating, though one of his biggest threats was your party. But they're apparently just as disorganized. Oh, you mean Sultana. Zara, Sultana, and Corbyn. Yeah, they're fighting like rats in a sack, aren't they? They haven't even got the party off the ground, and then they're arguing about who's got the money, who's having the money, where's the money going. I think it's a shame, because I actually think Britain does need a proper left-wing party. That's how a democracy should work, so we can argue in a mutual way and move things forward. That's basically what Charlie Kirk was saying. He got shot for saying it, but it's true. You need your George Galloways. You need your Jeremy Corbyns. Nothing wrong with that. You just don't want them in power, in my opinion. But that's my opinion. Other people will have a different opinion, wouldn't they? Sharon Walker. Now, you're getting ahead of yourself, Sharon. If we get him out, what person do we get next, I wonder? Well, hopefully Nigel Farage. But Sharon, at times like this, right, it ain't worth thinking about who's next. All your effort, all your energy should be into getting rid of him. He also says he took us out of the European Union and he still thinks he's a European. Well, that's very interesting you say that. There were reports yesterday in the newspapers that he's trying to get back in. That's his ambition. Well, he's doing it anyway by the back door. He does like the back door. He's doing it by the back door, which is totally and utterly wrong. The British public voted to get out. But I think, and lots of other commentators are saying this as well, he's trying to get us back in. Anyway, let's move on. He didn't take us out of the European Union, actually, Sharon. I think you've got to put the credit to that to Nigel and to Boris. But I think because Starmer was a Remainer. He was desperate to stay in. Sharon says, go on, John. What, you want me to go on even more? Ain't Starmer Darren Cummings? That's a funny joke, but I'm not going to read it out, right? Hello there, says DJ CMB. I have to say this, you do kind of sound like Winston Churchill. I like it. You reckon? Thank you very much indeed. I'm not sure if that's a compliment or an insult. On Twitter or X, Starmer would stop at nothing to cling on to the Muslim vote. He knows the Grockley crew of Corbyns as well as Pakistani independents can cost him around 7% of the Labour vote, says Kieran in Macedonia. Good point there, Kieran. You're all right. I wouldn't put it quite like that, but I thank you for your comments. Yeah, clearly, he hasn't decided to suddenly save the children of Gaza from the genocide. He's trying to save his own neck and the neck of people like Jess Phillips. I don't agree with this, and I think it's wrong. There should be no religion or sectarian voting in this country, but there is in the Muslim community, sections of the Muslim community. In Birmingham, she nearly lost her seat. Other MPs did lose their seat. Labour are petrified of the so-called Muslim vote. But as usual, it's kind of half religious, half racist, they're thinking, because not all Muslims think the same. But that's why, in my opinion, hold on, the Labour councils and Labour MPs have dragged their feet over the child grooming, whatever you want to call it, public inquiry. They didn't want it. And one man who definitely didn't want it, here he is. I used to be the director of public prosecutions. My name's Sir Keir Starmer. But Jimmy Savile never came across my desk. Nobody who was important ever came across Keir's desk. That's what we're meant to believe. But you're right. I think it's terrible. I think the idea of people voting on those grounds, I mean, linked in with postal voting, it's just ripe, isn't it, for corruption? And that's wrong. We're not yet a banana republic. Maybe that's where Starmer is trying to take us. Denise Deegan, if we have ID cards, they still wouldn't know who's in the country. They know who we are because we're registered at birth. We've got an NHS number. We've got national insurance number, passport, driving license, and utility bills, and so on. Can't argue with you, Denise. I used to be of the opinion, if you got nothing to hide, you got nothing to worry about. But I'm sorry. No more. No more. I don't. Because they just want to control us. And what annoys me is they make laws based on the minority. All governments do this, don't they? So you get laws where you're a law-abiding, decent kind of bloke, but you're the one they're going to pick on for one misdemeanor. You know this happens. This happens all the time. This is how we've ended up, how dare I say it, with the burqa in the country. We should have said no. No face coverings. We don't let people with motorcycle helmets go into banks. You can't go in looking like that. No. I don't care what your religion. Are you listening? I don't care. I respect and I tolerate your religion. Isn't that reasonable? I think it is. Craig McKenzie says, lol, language, Timothy, laugh out loud. Yeah, okay, fair enough. But it's going to help out with the invaders situation, laugh out loud, says JME. Yeah, JME, that is the con trick he's trying to pull on you. He's trying to basically say, if we have ID cards, that will stop the boats. It's just pathetic. He keeps coming up with pathetic ideas, doesn't he? You can only stop the boats by saying, detain, detain, detain in camps. Deport, deport, deport. Can't do it any other way. And we've had 3 out, if you don't believe me. And we've had 1,611 in, I think it was, at the last count. Starmer, you are a failure. Resign now. Anybody agree or disagree? Just write resign if you want. It's up to you. Starmer can't be that stupid. He knows what he's doing, says Nigel Winter on YouTube. Well, that's where I've come to. Of course he does. Of course he does. So are we going to let him wreck our country? And then he gives us lectures on the Union flag. Our flag. No way. What's on Mary Murphy, is it? Maffey? She just says, agree. Well, thank you very much indeed. I'm worried about my benefits, and it's coming from the press that he's going to cut universal credit. We need a general election now. Well, we do. But problem is, Nigel's not ready for it, is he? And I don't think Labour are. I mean, Labour are in disarray as well. And don't forget, not Labour, sorry, it's easy to mix them up. The Conservatives are in disarray. The whole thing is a complete and utter mess. Right, I'm going to bring you the good news any second now. David Thompson, we've had the chance to own our own homes. We've had the chance to own our homes because they let too many people here. Mass deportations now. Where, yeah, it's not very well written that. But what you're trying to say is people won't be able to get a house because he's let too many people in. Yes, I think I agree with you. Craig Urquhart, spoiler alert. John is the new deputy leader. Deputy leader of what? Which party? I don't think so, my friend. I ain't bothered about any parties. I can't bear any of them, let me tell you. But on a league table, Nigel's would be the one. Well, I am going to vote for him. I can't understand who else to vote for. Peace Haven Dweller, he's reposted the stream on X. Thank you very much. Right, here's the good news. I woke up this morning. Is that a song? It is, isn't it? Woke up this morning. Yeah, it's a blues song. Don't all blues songs start like that. But yeah, I woke up this morning to an amazing piece of news. I'm now going to try and find it. Here it is. And it's from YouTube. I normally see YouTube. I thought, oh God, I'm going to get banned again. Or I'm going to get demonetized. But no, it said, your channel has now got 1 million and I don't even know how to work this out. 1,018, 115 views. So that's over 1 million views. That's the channel, right? Which I started in the pits of depression because even though I know I'm good at this, I didn't know whether I could still do it. And I set it up. Well, it was originally in the back room. It's now in the bedroom. And I've just managed it. I've had some tremendous help from you listeners, or a lot of you listeners. People donating money via buymeacoffee.com/John Gaunt. Money now on YouTube once we got YouTube ticking over. And I've had a little bit of advertising. But the majority of support to this channel at the moment is coming from you, the audience. And I just want to thank all of you because without you, and this is genuine, I wouldn't be doing it. I wouldn't be where I am now. I'm now in a position, 1 million views. I think we can move on from here to get sponsorship and get better advertising, etc., etc. Still need the donations. Don't rest on your laurels. But how remarkable. Just me sitting here. I'll let you into a secret. I'm just sitting here in my boxer shorts again today. It's kind of a nod back to how I started. I'm over the moon. I'm going out with one of my oldest pals this afternoon, and I may be having a couple of bevies because I know I'm good at this, and I know I should still be on the mainstream media. I'm not going to be because they've blackballed me. I'm too dangerous, I think, or whatever it is, or too old, probably, or probably both those things. But I'm going to build an audience here. And we're going to move things and change things. And it's going to happen. And it's happening because of you. So I do genuinely want to say to every single person who has donated, and even people who haven't donated, but who have watched religiously, because that's important as well. And you don't just have to donate. You could just join, subscribe, it's called, to my YouTube channel, John Gaunt. What's it called? John Gaunt TV on YouTube. It's free to do that. And that just helps the algorithm recognize that actually this show is going somewhere. And I genuinely now think it is. So I want to say thank you to everyone who's watched when we just did podcasts, everyone who's listened, everyone who listens and watches, everyone who's passed the word on, everyone who's joined or subscribed to my YouTube channel, and everybody who's donated some money. And a big thank you I want to say to Adam. I didn't know Adam from Adam, but he'd been a fan of mine for years and years. And he said, you need some lights to make it look better. And he was going to give me his lights, but the mice had got into them or something. I don't know. So he bought me a couple of lights. And I think that was the turning point when I thought, I met him in a local cafe and I thought, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. This will work. So, Adam, you don't know, it wasn't the lights. It was the fact that you were so enthusiastic and supportive. So I want to say a big thank you to you in particular. Then lots of other people, Wojtek and David, the estate agent, who pumped in quite a bit of money. Those people, yes, thank you. But it is literally every fiver, every couple of quid you donate that's made this happen. 41 likes today. That's brilliant. And we're going to push on from here, let me tell you. Start getting more guests on again now, and we'll move this on. But genuinely, thank you. And if you'd like to donate today, look, it says at the bottom of the screen, it's buymeacoffee.com/John Gaunt, anything from a $5 upwards, or just click the $sign. It's brilliant. I am, as you can probably tell, on cloud 9. Right, enough of that. Let's move on. How can you tell you've been to Starmer's barbecue? No. Don't do rude jokes like that because you don't know whether the basis of that joke is true or not. Stop it. Titch1971 on YouTube says, Stein the election poll. Dawn, she's not messing about. Dawn Ashman on Facebook, she just says out. I think I know who you're talking about. Thank you for that. No, says Jeremy, because he's destroying the Labour Party. Starmer stay. What? He might be destroying the Labour Party. He's destroying the bloody country as well. Don't be so ridiculous, Jeremy. Where are we going next? Hi, John. I totally agree with you. Thank you very much indeed. I'm really thirsty today, but thank you. Heath Collinson. Out. I think I know what he means. Janice Hodgkinson. Out. Nice picture there, Janice. Thank you very much indeed on your avatar. On Facebook, Marion Talbot, same again. She says, out. Kevin Cunning says, sounds okay. Thank you. Craig McKenzie says, out. Somebody else said, Titch says, yes, I can hear. I know I'm getting a bit annoyed with people saying I can't hear. If you can't hear some days, check your settings first rather than spread panic amongst the general audience. It's like being in a ridiculous sitcom. If it wasn't real, it'd be hilarious, says Hazel Lloyd. You're right. It's a tragicomedy, isn't it? It's just terrible. Craig says, congratulations on your celebration. Pam Millett says, hearing you loud and clear. Craig Urquhart, right, yeah, I've got to get my whip back. He says it was my end. Sorry. Yeah, you will be, Craig. You will be. You are in big trouble. You might have to listen to, who's that bloke on LBC? I might put you on Jankers. Like when I was in the Scouts, Eddie Ogle was our scout leader. He was the loveliest bloke, the gentlest bloke in the world. But if you did anything wrong, we went to Jersey. I can't remember. Oh, well, I can remember. I'm just a bit embarrassed. I'm not going to talk about it. But he made us dig out the toilets. This is when scouting and being in the Cubs was proper stuff. And so you had to dig the shithole out. It teaches you a lesson, though, I tell you. Regan and Carter, the bookers have made Ed Miliband's second favourite with Street in behind Andy Burnham. Yeah. Thank you, Regan. Absolute nonsense. How anyone could think Ed Miliband could come back. There's no way. There's just no way that is going to happen, in my opinion. Let's get back on the agenda then. So, Starmer, is there any way he can pull this round? I say no. And like today, let's talk about ID cards. I don't want them. Do you? I do not want to back Palestine. I don't even think there's been a genocide. I think that's not the right term to use in Palestine or the Palestinian state, whatever you call it. And we certainly should not be recognising it. whilst those monsters Hamas, and I know there's a difference between the Palestinian Authority and Hamas, don't give me a lecture, but I'm saying whilst they're holding, I saw the guy from the Palestinian Authority. He was on that BBC programme this morning. He was an aggressive little shit, he was. So he lost my vote, to be honest. They'd lost it already, but then he definitely lost it. Anyway, you might want to talk about that. Right, got to stop soon. Get that cretin out now, says Lynn Marie Scottford. I love it. I love it. Labour out now, not just Starmer, the granny harmer, says Hazel Lloyd. Nice one, Hazel. Nice one. Like it a lot. David Tennyson, gob, and then he's got a part of you know what. Are you talking about me? Or are you talking about Starmer? You be careful. Douglas Taggart, problem is then we'll be left with Lammy as Prime Minister. Nah. He's going to go to Washington. He will be the ambassador. You watch. I really do think that will happen. Now, this is a better suggestion. James R.C. Irvin says, John Gaunt PM. I wish. Thank you very much indeed. John, why can't he just piss off to his paradise? Davos, says Craig Mawson. Yeah, but he did say, didn't he? He did say. They asked him the question, Westminster or Davos? Davos. Why? Well, because they get things done. All right, there we are. Thank you, Mr. Starmer. Thank you for your support of our great country. What about him teaching us about the flag? Are the flags still up around your way, by the way? They are around here. People are still putting them up. The thing is, Starmer's lost all authority. We all think he's... So no matter what he says, we're going to do the opposite of, aren't we? So if he says bringing those flags down, just more are going to go up. Darling Delights. Starmer had private meetings with Serco before the elections. Yeah, I've heard that before. And of course, Serco had been busy buying up all the rented property. They're going to put them in HMOs. The only flag Starmer's lot sing about every conference is the red flag of communism, says Craig. Thank you very much indeed. Jeremy, call a general election. Keep Starmer in. It doesn't matter who takes over from him. Labour are finished anyway. But so I think you just need to think through your politics a bit. Yes, not allowed. I've made that joke many times and much funnier than you. So I find that with humour, it's often the off-the-cuff remark. That's best, mate. And I know you. I mean, you're one of these guys who doesn't think there's any point in a double entendre when a single one will do. 100% wants back in. Who does, Hazel? I don't know. I'm lost there. No one said anything about my celebration. The fact that we've hit 1 million viewers, over 1 million. It's incredible. I find it absolutely incredible. Not as incredible as when I was on TalkSport. I think we had 1 million listeners a day. So I've got some way to go, yeah, haven't I? But we'll get there. We'll try our hardest. Titch says he hates us so much in every way he should be booted out of the country. Morning Star reported on this. He never told his members or media about it, says Darling Delights. Yeah, it's all over the media now. I have read it several times about him missing Serco, but I didn't realise it started in the Morning Star. That's good. Good. Of course, that's why he keeps Khan in. Khan in where? Reform UK all the way. Advance UK maybe, something for the future. But get Nigel in. John, are you going to stand for Reform UK? England needs you. No. I was asked to stand for UKIP. I'll let you into this. It's not a secret. In fact, Nigel personally asked me to do it. But you had to go through this kind of entrance procedure. And I went to some godforsaken place in the Black Country. Was it Warsaw or Smethwick? It was somewhere anyway. And met these people, and we had to do stupid exercises and stuff. And then so it went very well. They asked me questions, whatever. I thought, well, that'll do. Oh, and you had to pay 500 quid if you wanted to be a candidate, just to be vetted. This is a UKIP. And then I got a phone call off a guy called Steve Crowther, who was the chairman of UKIP at the time. And he said, oh, John, I've got some bad news. I said, oh, yeah, what's that? He said, well, you did brilliantly at the interviews and all the da-da-da-da. However, you failed in your political knowledge. I said, you what? Really? Yeah. So I wasn't good enough to be in UKIP. Farage wasn't very happy because it was just bullshit. It was obviously somebody in the lower echelons didn't want a big mouth like me, somebody who can communicate, in there. They probably thought, oh, we got enough with Farage. Yeah, so that's what happened to me. So it put me off a bit because I only did it, well, and I lost 500 quid. I'm sure it's different with the reform, but I think I prefer being the little vandal outside throwing the bricks into the greenhouse rather than being in the greenhouse. And all that thing about, oh, well, you said this in 1932 and it contradicts what you're saying now. Well, didn't you say things when you were younger and you've changed your opinion? That's what we do, isn't it? I find that ridiculous at the moment when they pick on someone because something they said years ago. I just find it nonsense. The latest one was that thing about the Labour guy who'd been doing jokes about Diane Abbott. It wasn't nice, wasn't pleasant, but it's not like a sackable offence, is it? So everything you've ever done in your life. Oh, I farted once at the Vicar's Tea Party. No thanks. Hazel Lloyd, is the teacher from Batley still in hiding? Yes. And I think that's an absolute disgrace. I'm with you on that. My only worry with Starmer resigning, says Jackie Waters, we might hear less of you, John, because no one can be as bad as Starmer, and therefore we might not be on air as often. But I'll take that risk. Starmer out now. Oh, I'll still find something else to have a go at, Jackie. Don't you worry. Jake's back. How's the brisket coming on, Jake? Is it finished yet? I want him out, but let's be honest, it'll just trigger more incompetence and scandals. My money is on a cabbage running the country next. Well, I hope you're having cabbage today. If you got brisket of beef, you can't beat buttered cabbage with it. Oh, lovely, lovely. I haven't even got anything in for dinner. Don't know what I'm doing. Well, I'm going out with my mate, so I'll probably end up in some cheap curry house somewhere. Charles was very friendly with Jimmy Savile. What's that got to do with our debate today? Do you think I should start having an intelligence test for people to see whether they can join in our discussions? John, yes, I saw it kicking off in Holland. I totally agree with you. Yeah, it was bloody scary. But it's happening all around the world. Japan, Holland. Well, you shouldn't call it Holland, should you? The Netherlands. The Netherlands is brilliant. Don't forget as well, the Netherlands, they had that politician killed in the street by a Muslim fanatic, didn't they? America, it's kicking off. I don't know. Mary B14 just says advance UK. Why do you make a point with it rather than just trying to get a free advert? People fleeing war-torn France. Ridiculous situation. I like that. Sarcasm is the lowest form of wit, but it's also sometimes the funniest. Well done, my friend. That was Cy in London. Pam Millett just says resign. Thank you very much. Keep going, Sakia. Top man, says Terry Payne on Facebook. Terry, I presume you're just trying to get a little bit of notoriety or a bit of meaning in your life. But shut up, you prat. Michael Payne, or resign. Jake says, of course, Jimmy Savile never came on his desk. Oh, no. Don't make jokes like that. That's very funny. If you want to look at it, you can. But I'm not repeating it out loud. Jackie Ward, 1 million views. Well done. Pity I'm still blocked. Jackie, did you write to YouTube? Because I don't know why you are blocked. I honestly don't know. They do have certain words that trigger it. So I don't know. Write to them and then come back to me on that. Yes, we're waking up and we need to see honesty like yours, says Hazel Lloyd. Will you write to my wife and tell her that? Thank you very much. My wife's gone out to see a show today in Birmingham or somewhere. I think you'll find it's more like 94%. No, I can only work from the statistics. 54% of people want Starmer out. How does he live with himself? How does he get out of bed in the morning and then go out? Anyway, Seaside and Mark, great news. Congrats, John. Onwards and upwards. Well, thank you, Seaside, because I know you've donated money before, so thank you for that. I thank you, John. I've been spreading the word over here in the States. I just hope they're with us. I care about my motherland. God bless you, John. Yeah, you've got a big day today in the States, haven't you? Is it today the funeral? I think it is. There's a rumour that Red Ed is trying to make a comeback as PM. Well, it's a rumour. I've just started. Do you know what, Ronnie? It isn't. It isn't you starting it. People are seriously saying that Ed Miliband could become the leader again. Do you remember those concrete pledges he had? What's the time? Because I've got to keep an eye on this because Dave will be here to take me out soon. You've had 44 minutes. Come on, let's have some donations now. Let's learn about it. I pass the word on about your good self. Kevin Koenig says, congratulations, John. Keep doing your thing. And look at this. He's just given me a super sticker on YouTube for $4.99, a $5. Kevin, you're very generous. Thank you very, very much indeed. If you want to do what he did, you just click that little dollar sign. Denise Deacon says, congratulations, John. Yeah, it's okay saying congratulations to me. It isn't just me. It's all of us. We're doing it together. This is a team effort. I do mean this, you know. Excuse me. I've got terrible hiccups today. I've lost internet, missing the rest of the show. How do you mean? Barry Torrance, you still got your message through. He must be kicked out. He hasn't got a clue about what Brits want. Faith Bowman says Starmer needs to go now, and the whole bunch of Egypts. They're fast track ruining the UK. I have to agree with that. John, if Starmer is doing well, why is he so far down in the polls? Well, he's not doing well, is he? It's all bullshit. Let me just spin to the bottom of it. God, okay, I'm going to try and get through all the comments I've got on the screen now, and then I've got to stop. Right? So if you want to get in, you got to get in now. Richard Pope, whipped my end last week too. Congratulations on 1 million views, John. Did I tell you off last week? I do apologise, Richard. Thank you very much. Cutting the grass with your knife and fork, Yankers. Oh, you're talking about, well, yeah, in the army or in the scouts. Yeah, we never had to do that. Then they used to have to paint the coal white. We just had to dig the shit out. That was terrible, that was. He was the nicest bloke ever. Inspirational to a whole load of ragamuffins from the arse end of Coventry, from Radford. Yeah? People like me, Andy Spence, Richard Keylott, Paul Keylott, the Doyles. We were all in the... Oh, I had a lovely thing yesterday. I mentioned the fact that... I hope you don't mind me telling you this. I was watching... I watched Strictly last night because I was in with the mother-in-law looking after her. And then I said, oh, Johnny Mathis is on the other side now. There's a whole load of programs about him. I said, he was my mum's favourite singer. You know, my mum died when I was a kid and that. And she said, oh, I can't really remember him. And I said, well, look, let's put it on, see if you like it. She absolutely adored it. And it reminded me what a great singer Johnny Mathis was. And I mentioned this, well, fiddling, had to have my hand on something, and the mother-in-law. So I texted about Johnny Mathis and had a lovely message back. And I said about how it was he was my mum's favourite. And I had a lovely text back from a guy called Tom Doyle. We were ragging. He was a Catholic. I was a proddy, but you know, we lived in the same road. He lived down. I lived in the posh end in the police houses. He lived further down the road, across Heathgate Street, with his. He had brothers and sisters. Alex, I think he emigrated to Australia. But anyway, he sent me a message, and he just said, "I remember your mum. She used to bring us biscuits from Owen and Owen. And it was just that memory. Click. I haven't spoken to Tom in centuries. I think he did my Simple as Fat thing, but I haven't spoken for ages and ages. But by him saying my mum, and my mum did work at Owen. She was a cleaner, and then it's like a big, if you don't know Coventry, it's now a Primark, of course, but it was Owen and Owen was like a big department store, like Mr. Grace. Oh, you all doing so well. Anyway, she worked in there as a cleaner, and then she was there, I think, she used to stock the shelves on an evening. In those old days, we used to call it pin money for women. You wouldn't be able to call it now. You'd be castrated if you said that, wouldn't you? But anyway, and of course, she did used to bring biscuits. Now, I was trying to remember, Tom, were they proper biscuits or were they broken? Because I know we used to get broken biscuits from Woolies on a Saturday, but I think Owen and Owen was a bit upmarket, wasn't it? And the food bit was downstairs, wasn't it? I bought my first ever crockery set when Lisa and I started living together. It was Hornsey pottery. Ooh, lovely stuff. It'd be worth a fortune now. It's all broken, of course. It's black with white on the inside. It's a bit two-tony. I think that's why I bought it. But anyway, going back to my point, Owen and Owen, yeah, that was the store. They used to have a brilliant Father Christmas in there. It was them. It was him versus the one in the co-op. Sorry, I'm reminiscing. But I wanted to say, Tom, you gave me a very warm feeling to go to bed on last night. So thank you, remembering my mum. How the fuck? Oh, no, sorry, didn't mean to say that. How the F does 54% want him out? It's 100% from what I've seen, says Finn Hagen. I understand, but I'm telling you what the statistics say. Out with Starmer now, says James Irvin over in the United States of America. Some roundabouts around here are French. They're white. Laugh out loud. Yeah, very funny, JMB. Starmer won't stop the boats. Serco making billions for their shareholders. Well, it does make you wonder who's got shares in it. It says Darling Delights in Scotland. You should get £1 for every view. Oh, that'd be lovely, wouldn't it? Hey, this time next year, Rodney, we'll be millionaires. Something like that. But in the meanwhile, if you'd like to donate a £5, feel free. Buymeacoffee.com/John Gaunt, or click the padlock. Not the padlock. What is it? It's a $, isn't it? Just a thought. Won't immigrants retire? Is the government setting up a pyramid scheme? A Ponzi scheme? You're right, mate. That's what it's like. John, I totally agree with you. He will not stop the dinghy drivers coming in. Not at all. Pam Millett, put all the liability party and their supporters in boats and send them to any third world countries. Oh, yeah, talking of which, did you see that Lib Dem idiot? Huh? With a band. Did you see him? Ed Davey. The guy is a prat. Oh, and I see Donald Trump is really upset that you boycotted the dinner. Oh, so upset. I'm sure I've seen loads of programs him talking about it. He's got more skeletons in the closet than Davy Jones' locker. Thank you. We'll leave that there, I think, for the minute. Who we got here? Concerned member of the public. If he can see Narnia, he can see Palestine. It's only a few miles away. Thank you very much indeed. Don't quite get that, but there we are. John, watching you is better than the news on the telly. Well, of course it is. Of course it is. Oh, look, I'm getting a headache now. There's too many comments coming through. Hi, John. You're getting pretty big now. Will you ever go to SawCon? What's SawCon? I haven't got a clue what you're on about. It's higher than the 54%. Even the left hate him, says the concerned member of the public on YouTube. Yeah, everybody hates him. That's the bottom line. Oh, I asked Jake about the brisket. Brisket of beef. He says, brisket's going fab, John. I'm cooking some fresh Yorkies to go with it and creamy mash. Yeah, but you need cabbage with butter in it as well and loads of black pepper. I think brisket of beef, apart from pure steak on it, I had a lovely steak last night. I love a bit of steak, but I don't think you can beat beef brisket. And as long as you cook it long and slow. Michael Doolan says, most of us just want our kids safe. I agree. And concerned member of the public says, I agree with Michael. Thank you. The only good voice in the UK, John, you will be here long after Starmer hits the bricks. Well, maybe. Look, there's just two. I can't read all these now. Yorkies go first. A size of a plate as a starter. Gravy from the roast mint and onion to take. You don't have roast mint and onion. You might have an onion gravy with beef, but you wouldn't have mint unless you got it on your spuds. Talking of which, you were just saying there about Yorkshire puddings. Yeah, that's how we used to have them at my nana's. You'd always have to have the Yorkshire pudding first to fill you up. Happy days. I remember going to Hull to see my nana and my aunties, right? Starmer just recognised State of Palestine, a state just now. Yeah, very funny. He's just done it, has he? Oh, well, there's a disgrace. The whole British public don't want it, and he's done it. What was I just telling you about? Oh, we went to Hull, and all the men, we all sat down, and boys were men as well. We all had our dinner, beef or pork or whatever it was. We all had Yorkshire pudding and all the bits and bobs. And then when my mums came, I always remember this. Me nana gave her just a slice of white bread soaked in gravy. There weren't enough meat to go around, so the fellas got it first. It's amazing. It's not. I'm okay. I'm 64. It's only 40 years ago, but that's the way it was, wasn't it? Anyway, I'm done. I've got to go because I've got a splitting headache, and I'm trying to get something to eat before I go out for a drink. I just want to say once more, thank you so much for watching today, but thank you so much for spreading the word, and thank you for all your donations. And if you can afford a bit more, please do. www.buymeacoffee.com/John Gaunt, or just press that little $sign now. But please make sure, if you haven't done this already, that you subscribe to John Gaunt TV on YouTube. And look, we've got to stop Starmer. We have got to stop him. It can't carry on. He is completely wrecking our country. Jackie Ward, she's finished me as usual with 3 red love hearts. Thank you. I call them love hearts, even if they're not. Thank you, Jackie. And concerned member of the public says, take care, John, mate. Take care and God bless and have a smashing Sunday. Oh, it's gonna be a Sunday. Let me tell you, he's one of my oldest mates, if not my oldest, Dave. I won't say where he's been. I'll get his permission first because he's gone and done something quite, I thought it was poignant and sad, but at the same time. But I haven't got permission to say it, so I won't say it yet. Steve, you're top man. He's put a $5 in the pot on YouTube by pressing the $sign. Gaunty is the man, #1 broadcaster. Then he's got hashtag Get Starmer Out Now. Pam Millett says, love your show again, John. Thank you, Pam. And great stream. I'll be tuning in again, hopefully, says concerned member of the public. Well, I'm always here Monday to Thursday at 6:30 in the evening. Try and tune in then if you can. But as long as you've joined John Gaunt, subscribe to John Gaunt TV on YouTube, you'll get an alert every time I'm going live. All right? So you've got no excuse to miss me. Right, I'm away now. Only one thing to say. If you've got kids, give them a kiss, give them a hug. Hold them really tight at the moment and tell them you love them. It's the most important thing you can do as a parent. I'll see you tomorrow at 6:30. Until then, all the best. Bye.